Carlos, am I here? Wow, I don't know. Anybody here? We got like the whole song today. You can hear me? Seems like we can't hear Carlos, though. Okay. Well, then I'll get started. All right. Good morning, everybody. I like the extended version today. I am still pretty excited from Tesla at the close yesterday. Anybody here trade Tesla at the close? I got to say, we had a party in the room with Jared and Brian and Paris, who joined us, and myself, and we all traded it. Unfortunately, Brian decided to go short. The rest of us were going long and made some money. And hey, look, I'm pretty excited that my prediction has so far come true. I did expect Tesla to go up as a buying opportunity with the lower volume after hours. I did, though, predict that it was going to come back and be red by the open. That's looking a little unlikely. We'd have to drop another $15 to get there. So, but still, you know what? Some good trades after the close yesterday on Tesla. As you can see, right at the announcement of the earnings, it popped up and really just kept going. It was looking a little iffy for a couple of minutes, popping up and down, but wow. So we'll talk about Tesla a little more. Of course, we have to when we get to the gappers list. And then we'll talk about a lot of other earnings. We got a ton of them on the earnings slate today. Before we do that, since we can switch slides, why don't we talk about the economic calendar? Because we do have some economic news that just came out. Let me make sure I call it up here. So the only thing on the list today was the durable goods orders. So durable goods orders just came out pretty much on target. So interesting, the core durable goods came out at 0.2% growth, where the expectation was 0.3, so slightly under the growth target, whereas the month-over-month overall durable goods orders was 0.1% higher, 2.6% growth versus the 2.5. So all in all, pretty much a wash, right? Sort of a mixed bag there. And as you can see, the market has sort of shrugged its shoulders and has done nothing. I got nothing else of note. Later this morning, by the way, if you do watch commodities, like Thor in the room has been watching oil, said he's been trading oil futures, I assume. Anyways, crude oil inventories do come out at 10:30 today. So if you care about crude oil, then you got to be aware of that at 10:30, and you probably already know. But if you're trading commodity or equities like myself, then frankly, it's going to have no impact. All right. If I look around the globe this morning on the The international markets pretty much green. Green most places. The commodities are mostly red. So we got a little bit of a mixed bag again here in North America. We are up a little bit of divergence. We're up 0.25% on the SPY and 0.75% on the Qs. Well, we know the Qs, the 0.75%. We know partly what we can attribute that to, don't we? We were just talking about Tesla. So there's that. All right. We do have, I said, a ton of things with earnings today. So we'll get right to that. Hopefully, Carlos has a mic or not. I haven't heard him yet.
I believe I do. Just
hey, there he is.
Good. All right, perfect. All right, friends, let's get to it. Our gappers list this morning, we got a bunch in the green as the SPY is higher today. So good morning to you guys. Good morning. Yeah, let's get to it. Let's see what we have here. Control A, Control X is going to clean this up, and we're going to be able to look at our gappers list here. Gapping up, we'll start with RILY. So let's see what's going on with RILY. And wow, up 44%. This looks nice. That's a big pop. Volume coming in as well. It is a low flow at 16, but I gotta say, it doesn't look too bad, Peter. What's driving this, man? It's a big move this morning.
Financial conglomerate. All right. Well, this is not a stock that we typically watch. So it looks like they had earnings, and I believe it was after the close yesterday, but not one that I was really watching whatsoever. So they are up significantly, as you can see, on a relatively low volume. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of coverage of B. Riley Financial. This weird. Anybody know what this is? This is a U.S. company. I've never heard of it. It's a little weird.
I don't think we ever seen this one. Yeah, we never seen this one before.
Well, they again, looks like after the close yesterday, they had their earnings, beat their numbers quite handily. I said, but I got so few analysts following it that there's really not much news or articles on it. So if I look at their the daily volume, I was just calling it up here. Daily, they're normally only trading like 80,000 shares a day. No, sorry, I'm looking at an hourly. No wonder it looks so low. 800,000 shares a day. 860,000. So they trade less than 1 million shares a day. So yeah, this is we got better stuff. This is not bad. Yeah. I just don't know why it's here, really. And I mean, the volume, look, it's like there's steady volume coming through. So maybe we put it down below and see if, it keeps going like this. But I think we'll find better stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Especially with the earnings and everything else going on, I think there'll be something much better to look at. So doesn't look horrible, but we'll find something better, I believe, as well. Let's take a look here at the next one, VRT. VRT this morning, we are up 16%, 1.1 million shares traded. It's got good volume, nice pop this morning. What's going on with this one, Peter? Latest and greatest on this?
Definitely earnings this morning. Mixed picture on VRT. So they're getting a good pop despite that. So they beat on they missed on revenue, but beat on earnings. I got that backwards. And they did the right stuff, though. They talked about AI in their press release. Everybody loves it when you talk AI. And they said that they actually had an increase in orders. Now, despite the order increase, they have not increased their full year forecast. They updated it, but didn't really increase it. So anyways, VRT moving well so far this morning. Look at this. I mean, the price action on this, despite having more volume, doesn't even look as active as RILY, Riley, that we were just looking at. So I don't know. I mean, it's okay, but not awesome. So we'll see what happens with this one. This one will go down with my Riley pile, if you want to call it that. And we'll keep moving because there's a lot to look at today. So I don't think you don't have to like pick something you don't love.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm looking at Riley again, man. This looks explosive. I'm going to add it here to my risky pile. Up 51%, continuing to just crush through some dollar numbers here. So I'm going to add it on there heavily in play. It's just for my style of trading. It might be something better. You do have shares for short on it as well. 1,000 shares. That's nothing. That could actually not be there. All right, so VRT, we'll skip on that one. Here is the big boy in the room. It is Tesla. So Tesla here, up 11.7, 5.4 million shares traded. I mean, this thing's got It's got a lot going on today. So good to see Tesla up, getting a nice little bounce from the 140 lows we saw over the last couple of days. And as you mentioned, a lot of action on it with Paris trading it yesterday. Brian, Jared. So I was enjoying watching them trade that after hours action. So Tesla in play. We'll add it on here. Anything else, Peter, in regards to Tesla earnings and what was said on the call by Elon?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, just briefly then, a whole lot of stuff happened with Tesla, but it was sort of it felt very familiar, didn't it? Tesla just missed their numbers, but everybody expected them to miss. So the fact that they just missed, everybody said, yeah, like it's already baked in. And a ton of promises, right? So the usual Elon promises about affordable cars coming, right? And that they're accelerating production on the Cybertruck and that, a whole bunch of stuff that he typically does, and frankly, the after hours market eats it up, and so they did. In really concrete news, they continue to make layoffs. There's 2,600 confirmed layoffs out of Texas. There's another 3,000 in California. Interestingly, about a year ago, Elon finally agreed to hire a marketing team because they don't usually do advertising, right? It's all been word of mouth, and I mean they've had a unique position in the market, but I guess he decided he needed to start trying advertising. Elon did not like the results, fired the entire marketing team, so they're all gone, and amongst all of these layoffs. So yeah, I mean it continues to be an interesting story over there. I guess Elon always, keeps it interesting if nothing else. So, and
He
you can see
sure
the price
does.
back up in the 160s. So this is, I mean, look, it's top of my tradable list, right? Like we've been saying all along, Tesla's always tradable. Today, it's just extra spicy in its tradability. So it should be a lot of fun. Again, don't assume which direction it's going to go. To be honest, right here, I had a bias, I guess, last night as to where it was going to go, which is the only reason why I traded after hours. And if you guys know me, I very, very rarely trade after hours. In fact, it's been almost a year since I think I took an aftermarket trade, and last one was on AMD earnings, probably about a year ago. But it seemed like so much fun, and frankly, Paris was so excited, I couldn't help but join them. So, but I don't do it very often, and I just think Tesla's going to continue to be active. But don't assume which way it's going to go, because now that it's sitting here, I mean, look at that daily chart. Look where we're sitting. It could easily go either direction, and don't forget. The big money, the deep pockets haven't spoken yet, right? They only voice their opinion by moving that stock price once the opening bell rings. And let's wait and see what happens, because I honestly have no idea whether they're going to be taking it higher or lower, but I'll be waiting to see. So
Yeah, great point there, Peter. And yeah, and speaking about the market open, and this is going around, right? We were talking about this in our YouTube chat yesterday, but we couldn't get to it because we were running late, so I didn't bring it up. But this 24/7 trading, Peter, I need to get your
oh,
thoughts on that. What do you think about
oh,
that?
horrible.
Yeah,
I hope it doesn't happen. So they are
yeah, yeah,
talking about they're investigating opening the markets 24/7, sort of like some of the other markets like crypto and others. I don't like it at all. I think not only would it make our trading more difficult, because now you got to figure out when to trade over any hour in your life, but it's going to dilute volumes, and it's going to
yeah.
make moves just less manageable. It'll change so much about the way the markets function and operate. But the biggest problem is it's going to be dilutive to the to again the volume that we rely on to make the moves happen. I don't think, even as the most traded market in the planet, I don't think the American exchanges can effectively operate in that method. My opinion, but I hope they don't do it. But who knows?
Yeah, yeah. That's my thing. There's so many strategies that we look at the market open, right? That we count on.
Right.
That
Imagine if
how's
you
the
had no
rising
open.
devil going to work, right? How's the
Right.
rising devil going to work? The 5 minute
Well,
RB. You know,
yeah. All of
when are you
those
going to
would
get the
cease to
volume?
exist.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully that doesn't take place. If it does, we'll figure it out. But it messes a lot of things up for sure, or at least it can.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the next one on here, guys. Billy on deck, actually. So Billy's been making a lot of noise lately. It has some volume yesterday. You could see they're trading more than usual, about 13 million. They ended the day. And then today they're gapping up 8%. So kind of swing here, Peter. On nice gap up, not much volume. looks pretty flat for the most part. Anything worth knowing on this one that maybe we can watch?
Another earnings play here on Billy. They had. Oh, I thought it was earnings. Wait a second. Why is it not on my? When I was following, I think they had earnings after the close yesterday. Did they? No. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought they had
Okay.
earnings after the close yesterday, but I'm not seeing a lot of coverage on that. So I'm not sure why Billy is actually one of the bigger gappers here this morning. So
Yeah, no
uh,
worries, man. Well, it is gapping up here. We'll again, I don't know. It can trade well. It has traded good for us in the past. I'm going to put as a possible. I know there's going to be tons of better stocks to look at, but I'll add that one on there. I like the pop this morning. RXRX today is the next on the list. So it's going to be up 7.4, 204,000 shares traded. So lower price stock. And the float on this one is actually pretty big, 151 million. So not a low flow stock, just lower price. Got some action late last night, looks like after hours, and it's continuing into this morning. I just don't know if they're going to get the volume, right? So we have 204,000 shares traded here. For the most part, they're trading under 5 million. So that's not really good volume. I'm gonna skip on this, man. Let's move on.
this is an interesting one that
Yeah.
apparently this has got a Kramer bump that Kramer was talking about it on his show and was all excited about it because Nvidia had been previously talking about it. I do remember we talked about Nvidia had like announced felt like 100 different partnerships. This was one of them. But
RXRX was one of them too.
yeah, I don't
Oh,
remember
nice.
exactly what they were doing with them, but anyways, somehow they were helping them. But you know what? I mean, yeah, again, they had so many of them. I'm not sure that it's that meaningful. Why are they popping this morning? Probably just because Kramer is mentioning it. And Joel's confirming, yeah, Nvidia is actually a part owner of RXRX. So there you go.
All right, so there you have it. The next one we know for sure it falls into that. That is ARM, and they had a massive drop last week over a couple of days, right? Friday being one of them. Trying to recover today, this morning. They're up 4.1. I mean, Nvidia has been recovering nicely as well. I'm not sure how they're looking today, but this has 250,000 shares traded, up 4.2. It was fun when we were moving up on this gap here, and I think that volume is starting to come back in here again. It could be exciting to look at least. So I'm going to put down a secondary. And Peter, I'm assuming this is all just kind of the bounce we're getting on the overall tech sector, right? Like Nvidia had a huge move yesterday, and over the last couple of days, been bouncing from the low of 760, 759. I mean, this thing really, really took a dive on Friday, and now back at 837. So, good volume as well, 891,000. I think it's worth watching Nvidia also. I think that's going to be fun.
All the semis are looking pretty good this morning, all moving up slightly. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, my old usuals still on my list, as always on my list.
Yeah. You can look at AMD, SMCI. All these semis are again bouncing from the previous lows that we saw. A lot of them, the low is from Friday, right? So pick your favorite. I got Nvidia, I got ARM here. Of course, AMD is always a good one to look at. We can you can add those there. Next is going to be T. This is AT&T, which normally doesn't trade very well. They got some volume today, 2.6 million shares traded. They do sit on the New York Stock Exchange, which again can trade a little bit different when it comes to volume and even the price action. At the moment, they're up 3.7. Peter, any news on this starting early today at 6:35? Looks like start to get
Yeah,
going.
earnings. They had their earnings this morning. Mixed picture for them. Missed on revenue, beat on bottom line earnings. Probably why they're going up is because their wireless subscribers were above forecast, so they saw growth in that uh, subscriber base, and that's good news for them. So, but like you said, AT&T not one of the best movers on the market. They get volume, but it doesn't move that well.
Yeah, yeah. We'll leave that one there. Let's take a look at BA. BA also up this morning, doing real
Oh,
nice. Up 3.6. Yeah, 525,000 shares traded. So got some decent volume for them this morning. I know, Peter, you don't like this one as much. I do love this one when it is in play. And today it seems to be one of those days. What's the latest and greatest?
so earnings once again, mixed picture for Boeing. They missed on revenue. Probably not a surprise there, right? With all the challenges they've had, with not only production, but of course with mechanical issues, which has delayed production. But they did beat on the bottom line. A couple interesting moves. They actually lost money in this quarter. $355 million was their net loss. But they, that's amongst providing $425 million worth of advance funding. So this is not, it's sort of a loan. It's like anyways, one of their big suppliers. Do you remember Spirit Aerospace? The ticker is SPR, and interestingly, they're not moving this morning. But Spirit Aerospace was one that was blamed for some manufacturing issues that led to some of the early flight challenges that we experienced. And Boeing released that they have provided sort of advanced funding so that Spirit can improve their production, either facilities or safety or whatever, but it's going towards improved production. So, which is an interesting move that they've come out in such strong support of Spirit and sort of double down on them as a supplier rather than, sort of condemning them or throwing shade or moving suppliers. They've jumped in and provided support to the tune of $425 million. So I found that interesting news. You can see Boeing, as we said, is going up. Spirit not doing that much so far this morning. When I last looked at it, only had about 100,000 shares. 8,000 shares. Wah, wah, wah. Virtually no volume, but I'm going to keep an eye on both of these just see what happens. But yeah, Boeing's definitely in play today with the earnings and the subsequent move up.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, if I ever start a business, I want it to be as strong as Boeing. I really do. I want it to be so niche that no matter how much I mess up, you have no choice but to use my product. So that's an awesome
True,
place
man.
to be. It really is. I mean, they're not going anywhere no matter what you think. All right, there it is. So BA definitely in play this morning. More of a possible. I mean, we need that volume to really come in at the market open, but they look awesome. They look awesome today. All right, let's see here. All right, so I see more Chinese tickers now. We're talking here in chat, our YouTube chat. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We'd love to be at, I think our goal could be at 200. We're getting more viewers now that we're on our main channel. So we'll move up our goal to 200 now instead of 160. Thanks to you guys.
Look at you getting greedy.
A little bit, just a little bit. So help us get there. But yeah, we're talking in chat here. We're bringing up that there's a lot of Chinese tickers coming up here. I do see JD here. We did look at Billy. So I'm going to look at my favorite one, which is Baba. And they're just going to appear in our list if they can't get above 2%. So they got the volume, 410. They're up here 2%. Peter, I'm not sure if you looked this up. Is there any overall Chinese news? I mean, all of them are up this morning. So
that's what I'm just looking for right now. I didn't see any when I was scanning the overall news earlier on Trading Terminal, but maybe I've missed it. Guys, if you know, let me know. It's very possible that I missed it. But yeah, maybe that's why Billy and Baidu, and because I was looking at earnings. The one that I thought I was following, anyways, was the only one with earnings in the sector was what the heck, EDU, which did have earnings. And that's one of those
EDU?
weird education stocks. EDU,
oh, yes.
yeah,
Scary.
There's a bunch of these Chinese education stocks. We don't get the same type of companies here in North America, anyways. But they were down, so that's why I was surprised that everything else was gapping up. But I haven't seen news out of China, so maybe there's something going on behind the scenes that hasn't hit my radar yet.
Yeah. Ben, yes, I saw that the TikTok bill went through with the Ukraine bill and everything else on there. So I saw that went through, but it's going to take a while. Like, right, they were mentioning that BitDance, I forgot the name, right? They're going to obviously take this to court, and it can take a year plus for them to actually remove them if they do that, if they end up going that route. So, but yeah, that did go through. So we'll see. Is that affecting how is Snap? I know Snap started moving up because of this, but I think it's such a garbage ticker, man. I mean, it's not on our list, but I'm still going to give it I'm not a fan. I don't know how. I don't understand. I'm not a fan. Garbage here for this ticker. So yeah, not moving up on that news so far. And I believe that, again, I'm strongly believe that anybody that's using TikTok heavily, that's not where they're going to go. I think there's better places.
I gotta admit, I've got Snapchat right here on my phone, and
don't tag me.
My daughter's going in Curacao.
Yeah.
It's the way I find out what's happening. They're there. See, like that Snapchat showing me what my
See,
daughter's
that's
doing now.
okay.
So
I love that. I love that. If that's your
anyway,
family's, preferred way of doing things,
it
awesome.
it it
You
is.
know,
Hold on, where is? Yeah.
and I
Well,
think, that like Facebook, right? It's a lot of older people that use Facebook, and I think part of the reason is it's just keeping contact with family, right? The family stays on Facebook.
yeah.
Uh, so it all depends on what your preferred viewership is. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. See, Peter,
Well,
Snapchat's giving you a hard time, right? The application is not
no,
working well for you here.
I was trying to find her story. She was busy swimming with turtles, but that was yesterday, so it's been more than 24 hours and it's now gone. So,
I don't appreciate that out of Snap.
okay.
I enjoy something from the
Well,
family. You're gonna make it disappear. Not nice.
yeah.
All right. That is
All
our
right.
social
Well,
media rant for the week. We promise we won't mention Snapchat
that's
again
right.
unless something happens. Let's move on. So over here, guys. Yeah. So again, Baba's so. I don't see great volume just yet, but it looks like there's something going on with all the Chinese tickers. They're all here this morning, at least the majority of them. You got Billy. I'm gonna add Baba both on a secondary. Baba though, the last couple of days, man, look at the move here. A couple of last three trading days. That's been nice. So from 68 to 73 and just continuing. So good to keep an eye on that. All right, we'll do one
Now you
more in the
mentioned
gap up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned Meta. Meta is sort of on watch
Yeah.
because, like Tesla yesterday, they've got earnings after the close today. So a whole lot
Yes.
more earnings tonight. Actually, there's a lot of earnings tonight with Meta and IBM and ServiceNow and Chipotle and a few others. But yeah, Meta's probably the biggest of them. They're going to announce shortly after the close. So that will be. That'll be tonight. Yeah. And that's why Meta, you know what? I mean, like yesterday, if you look at Tesla's chart for yesterday, right, they had a move right at the open and then pretty much flatlined. We were talking about this in the late afternoon session, how they flatlined at about 145 going into the close yesterday before they took off up towards the 160 that we were watching. But yeah, we'll see what Meta does. But it's probably going to be a slower trading day for Meta in anticipation of the earnings after the close.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, you can always go to tradingterminal.com to get the calendar. So right over here, as you're seeing on the screen, you can click on calendar right over here, and then you can see what earnings are coming up for today. You can change the dates right on there. And if you want to see an overview, just click on top earnings, and this will give you some of the most notable earnings that are expected to be released this week. So you could take advantage
And
of that.
Yeah, and you don't have to go through the list either. By the way, pretty much everything on that page is clickable. If you notice, there's
Yeah.
before open and after close little buttons there. So I use those heavily because it allows me to filter what's opening right now that we're looking at, and then what's happening after the close that I know I'm looking for. So yeah, it's a good little reference tool.
It's a great tool. So take advantage of that. All right. I added Meta to the list, guys. Looks good, up 2.4 with earnings today. Usually stocks get their earnings after, but I think saying that they become in play after earnings. But the big guys like Tesla, Nvidia, even when they have earnings that evening, they can trade very well even on that same day. So we'll have this one on deck. Great volume this morning, gapping up 2.5. And it's one that a lot of our members watch. They like Meta the way they trade. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this one. All right, let's head over to the gap down. Let's look at Evo this morning. So EVO. This is go ahead,
I'll
Peter.
handle it after. It's all good.
Okay.
I got a bunch of other earnings. We'll talk about them later. Let's
Oh
talk
yeah,
about Evo.
we'll do other earnings after this, whether they're up or down, because I know you got a bunch of them. So we'll get some pretty quick here. Evo down 32%, 296,000 shares traded. Not much volume. Float on this. What is the float on this? Is it 362 million? So Peter, it looks like this thing never is active, never alive. But today they got 300,000 shares traded, which is more than what they do on a regular basis. And it looks very choppy too, man. I'm not sure what this is. Anything good happening here besides this gap down?
Yeah, this is a drug manufacturer out of Germany. Not really a lot of news. They had some change in their executive suite. The new CEO was appointed, Dr. Christian Wachowski. I'm probably not saying that right, but anyways, this is probably can't be too happy that the stock is gapping down on news of his appointment. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Not something I'm going to trade. So
Yeah. All right, we'll leave it alone. Next one is EQX. Is this Equifax? No, it's not. Equinox Gold.
Equinox Gold.
Yeah,
EFX is Equifax, but
yeah, yeah,
Equinox Gold. Yeah, so we've seen the gold often on the gap up or gap down list as commodity prices are moving. This one is not one that we've seen though. Uh, the They were halted in trading in Canada, and they actually, I think, were just. Are they still halted? No, they were resumed. Trading resumed on Canadian markets. So this could be a catch up because of now the imbalance that we had between markets, being that their trading was halted on the Canadian market. So it doesn't make it tradable, right? It really
yeah,
just makes an
yeah.
equalization event, which is why we see a little bit more volume on the bigger gap down to put it on our list. But yeah, not really tradable in my opinion.
Yeah, well, we'll leave that alone. Here's his ENPH. We know the stock very well. It comes up on our gappers list more often than not. And when I know when energy was heavily being it was in play, we had this more often on our list, right? But today they're up down 5.2, 319,000 shares traded. I mean, they're a hit or miss. They can trade very well, or they can be very choppy if the volume doesn't come in right at the market open. So I'm on the fence on it, Peter. Is there any reason why we should put this on here? It is down 5.2 today.
I mean, they're down because of earnings. They had poor earnings and say that they could see continued slump in the solar market in the U.S. But I don't think that makes it tradable, really. It's like you said, the volume's low. Price action is usually not all that good on it. I mean, it might be okay today, but I personally, this feels like there's a lot more fun, a lot of better moving things to look at than
Yeah,
NFAs
yeah.
here.
I'm gonna put them just on a secondary for now. We'll come back to it. I mean, it has the potential to do something great here, and it can move quite a lot. So you don't need to take a boatload of shares. I'm just concerned that they might not just get the volume, right? That's the issue with this one. If they don't get the volume, it can be extremely choppy. All right, last on our list, we'll do two more, and then we'll get over to earnings. IBRX. No, we're just gonna just skip on this garbage stock, so we'll leave that right on there. BBVA. What's the next one on here? Two more garbage stocks. So double the garbage there on those tickers. We don't want no parts of that. Peter, let's move to what you have as far as earnings this morning.
All right. Well, nothing that's big and tradable, but there's some names that I typically just look at when they have earnings. Hilton Hotels, Hasbro, Humana, and Visa. So those tickers are HLT for Hilton, Hasbro Toys, HAS, Humana, HUM. I love the hum ticker, by the way. And then Visa, just a V. All had a similar story. They all beat their numbers. Visa is probably the most notable out of them. I actually don't mind trading Visa sometimes. I used to trade it during the pandemic. It actually was sort of nicely tradable during that period. But I don't know if that's going to translate to today. All the volume is very low so far pre-market on these. Visa had a sort of different story than some of the other retail we were looking at. They're not retail, I get, but obviously, their volumes, they were saying a lot of retail buying. So people continue to charge things to a credit cards, apparently in record numbers, and Visa's very happy about that. So they've seen some record numbers. Now, that could indicate a credit crunch coming up, right? As credit card debt increases, but we haven't sort of heard officially that there's an increase in credit card debt. All we know is that Visa's very happy at the amount of charging that's going on. So, anyways, those are the ones that I was looking at that are gapping up. On a gap down list, General Dynamics, GD. It's the only one I had that was gapping down this morning. Also, earnings where they beat on revenue, missed on earnings. So I'm not surprised. Another one that has a fair defense component to their business, and surprised they're not gapping up a little bit more. But like we saw yesterday with some of the other defense stocks, remember Lockheed Martin and those others that we were talking about, and Raytheon. But anyways, GD is gapping down slightly. So that's what I was tracking. There are other earnings out there. I mean, there's a ton of them, whether you want to look at Biogen or Boston Scientific or Thermo Fisher. Those are all in the science field. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of them out there that I won't go through the whole list. But for me, we've already got more than I'm comfortable watching at the open. So I'm going to have to pick the ones that I like best just like you should, right? Don't be afraid about missing something. You got to sort of pick your targets at the open and then look for the moves based on your strategies. So we'll talk about that a little bit more as we head into setting levels and that in a couple of minutes. But first, I'd like us to look at our calendar because it's Wednesday today. If I look at the Bear Bull Trading calendar, Wednesday is when we talk psychology. It also means it's hump day. And hump day is leads to I don't know, for those of you on YouTube, you might know we have a bunch of rituals that happen in the room. One of the rituals that we have is there's an ad, there's an old ad. Anyways, there's an old ad anyways that's got a camel in it where they talk about hump day, and I won't give anybody some free promotion there, but we play it every single day, every single Wednesday, because if I forget, I have about a dozen members who will remind me that we have to play that ad in the afternoon. So hump day. Anyways, on this day, we have our psychology webinar happening at 8 o'clock tonight. Again, love the name. Why can't I stick to my rules when I get in the trade? Again, we've all asked ourselves that question in one form or another. And Randy Howell's going to tackle that and give you some pointers and tricks on how you can sort of manage that feeling, that emotion, and hopefully get better at sticking to your rules once you get into a trade. So that'll be at 8 o'clock, like I mentioned, in the webinar room tonight. Next week, Dr. Kenneth Reed will be talking about how to increase your discipline the easy way. I'm not sure that there is an easy way, but he's going to help make it easier. So if anyone can, Dr. Reed can help us with that. That'll be next Wednesday, May the 1st at 8 p.m. And I like in the room as everybody is screaming, Mike, 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 Mike. That is why we play it for our good buddy Mike. Now, Mike is in Vegas. We didn't hear from Mike yesterday. Hopefully Mike is still alive. He is traveling with a bunch of retired Marines. They're on a road trip to Vegas. Do I need to say more? I mean,
And they do this.
Marines
They
on
do this a
road
few
trip to Vegas.
times a year, Peter. Right? They get on this bus, and he sent a picture of him drinking on the bus. I think they start drinking right on the bus on their way down there. So
yeah,
it's awesome.
It can only be terribly fun and terribly messy. So whatever's happening, we hope his head doesn't hurt too much and that he's having a bunch of fun. So enjoy Hump Day, Mike, wherever you are, wherever in Vegas you are. He might still be out for all we know, right? I mean, it's only 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right. With that, why don't we take a look at... Oh, yeah, I still have some work to do here. Hold on. TradingTerminal.com is the place to go. Like I was mentioning earlier, I've been using it all morning to get my information, the calendar of events, the economic activities, as well as, of course, earnings. We've got scanners in there you can use that we use in the morning, of course, to get the gappers list to know what's moving and what's hot and what's not. So check it out. It's a great resource. And if you want to join us at Bear Bull Traders, we always have membership options for you. They're listed on our website. Go to bearbulltraders.com and you can see what's available. Everything from the intro offer through our monthly packages to our elite annual package. Those are all available and usually are shown on the screen.
Oh, yeah, that's me. That's my cue. Let me get that for you.
That's all right.
Let's get that over to you. Here we go. I'm here chatting away with our members. And also, by the way, check out, when you guys get a chance, check out right on our website. We put this up. This is on here now. These are the pictures from the Vancouver Summit. Some really nice shots. And when you go here, it'll actually also take you to our Flickr account. So we got a Flickr account over here, and you can see some of the stuff we have done in the past. If you go like back to albums, you can see some of Andrew's climbing, which is very exciting to look at, and you got some other stuff on here. So it's kind of like our BBT photo album picture thing. So definitely take a look at that. It's a lot of fun shots there. But yeah, Pierre, let me get you back to where you need to be here.
No, like even I didn't know that. Look, I learned something new. That's
there you go.
That is awesome. Wait, how do you get to the albums list? Oh, look at that. That's awesome. I had no idea. Cool. Well, there you go. See, I learned something new. Thanks for that, Carlos. That was worth it.
Yeah. Anytime.
Yeah, like I was saying, anyways, if you want to join us, there's always stuff to discover here at Bear Bull Traders, as I just learned. So there's our membership options. Whether you want to just join, I said an intro, or you want to jump right in with the Elite Annual, they're all there, and they're all well worth it. So at least we think so, but we're completely biased. If you have an opportunity, give us a thumbs up on. If you're listening on YouTube, if you're a member in the room, go over to YouTube and give us a thumbs up. Helps the channel growth, and we love to see the channel get bigger so that we can talk to more people at the open and help them get ready for that trading day. So with that, we're going to set some levels with Carlos. We're going to see what our moderators have to do. Still have a couple of things to get done for you this morning.
Yep, absolutely, friends. But before we do that, we will never forget about you guys, right? We have to look at what you guys like, what tickers you guys like this morning. So we'll take a few from our chat and also from our YouTube chat as well. And just remember, today we'll go to about 9:20, and then we're going to hand it off to Brian and probably Thor or Parrish, who are going to be trading live for you guys over on YouTube as well. So stay tuned. We'll go into another live session with you guys again today. So make sure you join us for that. So what do you guys like this morning? So AMD, yes, AMD is on here. I have AMD on deck already. So if it's already on here, I'm going to be watching that. AMD is on my secondary. I know my main list looks a little bit small right now. I do plan to move some stuff up there, right? So it's not going to stay like that. PLTR, I saw that being mentioned on both chats heavily. So let's see here by number of people, right? So we got Yasang mentioning that one. Chris, someone else mentioned this as well. Let's take a look at PLTR. 735,000 shares traded right now. We are up 2%. Peter, something driving this one that many people have it in mind this morning. Do you see anything out there? I'm gonna assume there's got to be some earnings or something. I'm not sure.
PLTR. I don't see them as an earnings play because they're well, maybe. Hold on, their next earnings are May the 6th. So yeah, I don't think that they wouldn't have had earnings this close. So that's not it.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure why they are moving this morning, but could be related to maybe the whole TikTok thing. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how they benefit by that, but
yeah, I'm not sure either. But they're up slightly this morning. Worth watching. I'm okay with this one. When I watch it, it trades horrible. When I don't watch it, you guys start posting all these beautiful trades. So maybe I should do you a favor and not watch it so you guys can crush it. But I'll put it on here today. We'll see what happens. It just seems to work that way with PLTR. I don't know what it is about it. And then when I don't watch it, they scream at me, "Hey, this was the best thing ever." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, actually it was pretty nice." Netflix being mentioned in chat. This was in play yesterday. Netflix might just go back to its regular low volume type trading, right? So we had a nice day yesterday on it. Had a nice little pop there. I wasn't watching. There was other things that looked a lot better. I just don't know and this will be kind of what, the fourth day now of trading after the drop. So I just don't know how well this is going to be. Whatever it does, though, it will be low volume. Like if you look at it yesterday, yes, it did very well, but the volume is extremely low, and that might just continue to come down here. So depends on your trading style. I won't be watching it. I think there's other things on here that look a little better, more explosive for the market open type play. If you're playing something a little bit different, you can take advantage of Netflix. If it's looking to close this gap, if you're looking at that, Jose over on YouTube is mentioning this one. If you're looking at the possible gap fill here, that could be interesting, right? But you got to have that play in mind. We did look at VRT, but people are mentioning it again here. I thought we added at least as a risky one, right?
We did. We looked at it very briefly because they had earnings. They had earnings this morning, a mixed picture on VRT. Yeah. If you remember, they missed on revenue, beat on earnings. They showed an increase in orders. I didn't like the price action at the time, so I wasn't looking too heavily at it. It is a NYSE stock, so it's positioned for a potential move. I mean, I don't mind it. I just I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure. Basically, that's the answer. So, if I was to put it on a list, it definitely would be after Tesla, Boeing, a couple of even Nvidia, things like that. So.
Yeah, I see it here. Again, I have it on a risky pile. It is not a low float, by the way. Just a reminder, it is 365 million shares float. But that is just a reminder, be careful on the number of shares you take on this thing because it is moving. Some of these candles are $1 very easily, $2. So again, be very, very careful with that. But it is in play. Tons of volume this morning. Let's wait till the market open how that is going to be playing out. So that's VRT. SMCI. SMCI. Yeah, tech is in play today. I do have Nvidia. I do have AMD on here. So you got the semis as well. SMCI is usually not one that I look at, but that is also in play. It's going to probably move alongside these other ones. But also ARM. Like you have ARM today moving, also RXRX, but I like ARM a little bit better. Stocks that kind of drop with Nvidia and everybody else, these are up this morning. Like ARM is up 3.7, 310,000 shares trade. So I think that's worth watching. All right, let's do two more, guys, and then we'll have to go to levels. Oracle. Oracle, no, not really in play. No volume at the moment. PLTR we do have. Oh, Pig Wrestler, you're telling me that Oracle and PLTR are partnering? That could be good news for PLTR. That could be great news.
Certainly, PLTR would get the bigger benefit out of that partnership. Big Wrestler also earlier mentioned SoundHound, which is one we haven't looked at in a while. Getting some volume this morning. SOUN ticker on SoundHound. If you remember that, an AI play. Getting some movement this morning. A little bit of I don't know, some positivity, some positive earnings. Potentially out of it. So
all right.
Their earnings are early next month, but still, it's got 1.5 million shares so far this morning. So
you can watch this one.
Still not as good as the other ones.
Yeah, it's got some volume. It is up 6.3. It could be a little funky, but it is in play if you look at just the numbers here this morning. All right, let's take a look here at Tesla, Nvidia, Meta, and PLTR is what I have on deck. I'm probably going to move BA up to the list here, so move that up. There's some really good ones on my secondary list here. So BA will be one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we'll start there. I think that's more than enough for me this morning. And of course, we'll be looking at the chat. There'll be people calling stuff out, so we can always take advantage of that. I see Paris and Thor already got their list together. So we'll come to that in a second after we do these levels. All right, let's start with Tesla, which is probably going to be a huge one today. 6.8 million shares traded so far, man. And this thing is strong. It is up 11.7 with our buddy Elon saying he's going to jump out of the garbage can. Where's the garbage can? He's going to jump out of the garbage can. If you haven't seen it, there it is. That's where he was, but he's looking to jump out of that and refocus on Tesla. So that's what his comments were. So we'll see if he can change things around here. The market investors like what they saw or heard yesterday, at least. I have the pre-market 163.77 on Tesla. The low is over at 159.99. I feel like I'm selling you something there, but that is where the price is. And then towards the bottom, we do have some levels there over at 151.88. Towards the top, if we look at yesterday's action, I'm sorry, towards the bottom, yesterday's got you covered. Highs and lows for the last two trading days all the way down here. I don't think we'll be heading back there if the momentum continues here. 171 looks like a great level, guys. You can see it right on there. Look at a ton of the support and resistance you're getting there. And then above that, again, this will be a stretch, but won't surprise me because when Tesla can get going, we've seen it do amazing things. 175.69 is the next level I see there on the daily. So these are your major levels: 163.77, 171, and 175.69. There's a minor area here that I want to mark down because you do have a couple of days. 167.51. I think that would be important to have on there as well. So there you have it. Let's take a look over at the next one. Is going to be Nvidia, tons of support towards the bottom, highs and lows of the last two trading days, previous day close. You don't need to add anything down here. You're set. We're just going to mark down the low of the pre-market over at 834.99, which seems we want to come back down and test that. We're up 1.5 right now with some great volume. Had a nice clean day yesterday. 885 is the high of the pre-market, so we'll slam a level there. And then if we go to the left, let's see here towards the top, in case we are able to change direction and continue on this gap up momentum. 866, great level on Nvidia there. So there you have it. That is Nvidia for us today. Meta is another one that's looking good. Earnings tonight after hours on Meta, so they're going to be in play and in the room. Usually when we have a major earnings like this, our mods, they stay live in trade. So definitely stick around for that if you want to see that or come back to see that. High of the pre-market 511.88 on Meta. The lowest at 505.78. So that creates a nice level there. Looking towards the top, beautiful level at 516. 78 and over at 523. And then towards the bottom, very, very clean. Highs and lows for the last two trading days, creating some really good action there below 500. In between here, you have to mark this down. I mean, 501.86, just tons of stuff slamming into that. You can see that there. I think that's worth marking down. If you look at the after hours action yesterday, you can see we're flirting with that level as well. 501.86 right over here. You can see using as resistance, support, and then we took off again. So you want to have that down on your list. PLTR, I mean, it's got some volume here, some possible news of partnering up with Oracle. 22.28 high of the pre-market towards the bottom. Just got to mark down the low of the pre-market over at 21.94, and that pretty much got you covered. And then towards the top, we're going to do 22.69, right? And then right up here, we'll do 23.20. So once you do that, you're pretty good on PLTR. They got some volume, although I feel like we've seen better pre-market volume out of PLTR. I think this looks pretty low, right? They like to do heavy volume. But let's see if this news can drive them anywhere. And taking off this morning is BA after being stuck here between 172 and 168 for a couple of days, really consolidating. They are now looking for liftoff here. So 176.71 high of the pre-market, the low is just kind of stuck between the highs and lows here. So don't have to do much on that as far as the low of the pre-market goes. But on the daily, if we look towards the top here, great level at 179.62. Over at a 183.15. So we have one right on here and also here as well. So that's looking pretty nice. And I think you're set, man. This is looking really strong. Volume continues to come in. And again, I like Boeing. They can trade very well at times. So there you have it, friends. That is our list. Let's take a look at what our moderators are looking at, and then we'll get ready to bring in our team that's going to be trading live. It's going to be Brian, and I believe Thor. Thor, are you jumping on this morning? As Andrew is traveling, and then when Andrew comes back, he'll be on with Brian. In the meantime, looking at our watch list, we have Thor, Apple, AMD, Tesla, Meta, Futures, Paris looking at Tesla, NVIDIA, BA, VRT, and ENPH for him. Jared will be looking at ENPH. Go ahead. You found something?
Big list for Paris. You normally doesn't look at that much.
You know what? Paris been doing that the last couple of days, man. He's loving a lot of these tickers during the earnings season here. So Paris list growing lately. Jared, ENPH, BA, secondary list, Tesla and IBM. Brian, Tesla, Boeing, NVIDIA, ENPH, and Meta. And Peter, for you, we have one IPO, RAN, for this morning. So carry over from yesterday. So it ran away yesterday and trying to do it today.
We'll see. Nothing happened yesterday. We'll see if it opens today.
All right. And then your list, Peter, AMD, Tesla, BA, secondary list, Meta, PLTR, and AT&T. Megan, usually always with a nice short list here, Tesla and AMD. So very focused there. And then Avi looking for at 0 DET options for today. So he'll be scanning to see what's out there for him. Master Chief. BA lift off the punt is less intended. Well, they're lifting off. Let's just make sure they can stay with all the parts together. That's what we want to see from Boeing. Keep your parts in place. All right, friends, stick around. Up next is going to be Brian. So Brian, just hop on in. The minute you hop in, I'll switch over to you. And then the next is going to be, I believe, Thor joining you as well.
Yeah. Random things. Happy Palindrome Day to those that follow that type of stuff. My daughter and I always trade email or text messages every time it's one of these days. So it's 4/24/24, which is the same forwards and backwards. So if you write the date that way, then happy Palindrome Day to you.
There's people that like to get married in these type of days, right? They plan it all year. So I wonder how many weddings are happening today.
People do like to plan things on these days, but yeah. So
yeah.
There you go.
All right, friends. I see Brian is on. Brian, we can't hear you yet over here, but I'm going to switch it over to you in a second. So just hold on, guys, as we switch over to our good buddy Brian over on YouTube. Guys, over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. It does help us out a ton. Peter, I'll chat with you in the chat room.
Indeed. Have a great day. Trade smart, everybody. Enjoy the live trading.
All right. I think we can hear you now, Brian. Let's check. There we go. We got Brian. All right, Brian, you are live. We can hear you. All right, so just text him that over.
Not hearing Brian on YouTube.
I heard his phone. Oh, I thought that was your phone.
Interesting.
There we go.
Again,
now we got him.
I keep reiterating how
Thanks, Peter.
how I find it really difficult to try to guess what a stock's going to do after an earnings release. We did a poll in the room. I was one of the majority, 60%, that thought Tesla was going to be down after reporting. So, and if you'd have had opportunity to look at their numbers before they were released, inside information, you would have probably made the same conclusion. That quarter was literally financially I would hesitate to not use the word disaster. But Tesla Elon Musk came in riding in on the horse and saved the day. Bunch of stuff, new cheaper car, although they keep decreasing the price of their existing cars. I don't know why they need a cheaper car. He talked about his robot, and it's working in the factory. It's going to replace all the humans.
Good morning, sir.
AI. Hey, good morning.
How's it going?
Good. I didn't. Did they pass the TikTok bill? I didn't see that this morning. I think they did.
They did.
Okay, so that's maybe explains why Meta's really charging here. Meta's
in a really interesting spot for me. So I'm actually have Meta on watch, which is very unusual for me. I normally don't watch Meta, but it's certainly in a very interesting spot. So as far as its month goes, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to be checking this one out the open.
Yeah, Meta's really been chopping in a bit of a range here for quite a while. Since about February, it's been holding this sort of 480 level and topping out at 520. So definitely kind of range bound here. Geez, Enphase just went green. It's ripping. There's a lot of good stuff that potential to watch today. AMD is breaking out right now.
It'll be really interesting to see what we do today. For me in the market, we're kind of opening mid-ranged. So it's very easy to rally or sell here. So I'm probably not going to do too much interaction with the market until, I'm going to kind of watch and see if we rally. I'll probably look to short it in a little bit if we sell off first. I'd really like to actually buy it, but we need to sell off first. So we'll see what happens.
So my one, if you were joining us at the close yesterday, my one Visa call that I bought just to be part of history, the 275 call is well in the money today.
Oh, nice.
So, good way to start the morning.
I'm pretty stoked as far as it's not a swing trade. It's actually a long-term trade. I threw Tesla into my portfolio 2 days ago.
Okay.
Ahead of earnings. I bought 140. So I was pretty stoked about that. Not a lot of money, you know me. I don't got that much, but it was a good grab. So it's not bad so far. We'll see what happens. So
cool, man. Great.
Next stop 1,000. Let's go.
Yeah. I don't know. My sense is okay. Well, we get 10 seconds to the open, so we'll continue that discussion a little later. Let's focus on
for sure. Good luck, people.
Good luck, everybody. Keep it green. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. I'm watching NVIDIA. I'm just, I'm not, yeah, I'm going to take it, jumped in a little early yesterday before I let things settle out. So I'm going to wait for a few minutes here just to see what kicks.
All right, let's see what happens. I threw some shares short on Meta. Pull back to R3 right at the open.
Okay. Ooh, nice.
Little fast for me, but it was right in the right spot. So this was where I was looking for. So I'm at break even right now. If it squeezes, I'll just bail on it. Otherwise, I'm holding.
A bit of a sell-off here on the NVIDIA. AMD's not doing much.
Yeah, it's R4 on the month is what really had me interested in Meta so early. It's this, which is this level right here. So we had went and tested it, wicked it at 8 a.m. and we had held it. So if we can hold here and push down, it'll be a good trade. If we squeeze back up, I'm not going to hang on to it. We got too many orders to the top side. So if this doesn't work, I'm going to get out of it and we'll just do something better later. Yeah, it just came and got me. So we'll hold off for a second. It's a good trade idea. It still might be valid.
Ooh, AMD is going to break out. Maybe.
Oh, man.
I'm long AMD. It looks like it's going to break out. Because AMD burned me yesterday, but let's see, I'm at 157.30. Not a big size, so I don't. Should be good for 158, I would think. Come on, AMD.
Not loving a lot now.
No. Okay, well, AMD's, yeah, you're short on Metas could be good.
It could still be good. I got back in it right back at R3 off of VWAP. Not quite as good of an entry as before, but with a better stop.
All right, here we go. Come on, AMD.
All right, we'll try it this time. See if we get the move. This time I used the open price as my stop, so it was actually pretty nice.
Ooh, nice move on Meta.
I should have just held my original and not moved to break even so quickly. That's okay. I'd have been at profit already. It's okay. We'll get there. We're going to go 500.
I'm getting out of AMD flat. Just
Partial?
Got in at 157. Out at 156.90. I don't. Ooh, nice move on Meta. Wow.
Here we go. All right, we're down into 500. Let's see what happens.
BA sold off, came back up. Okay, well, just gonna wait here. So in the meantime, just going to sell my call, 275 call on Visa, because that's going to lose a lot of the implied volatility is going to get sucked away now that they've reported. I still got a decent premium on it.
Getting squeezed on old Meta here.
BA's moving up.
I'm at break even on it, so it basically almost took me out there. It just
Yeah,
didn't
look at
fill
that.
me.
I mean, it just yeah, a bit of a choppy open here, guys. So it's let's just wait.
I'm watching crude futures here. I'm liking the way they're holding this lower buying range here. So bought up really nicely off of S3 yesterday for a really nice run. So kind of keeping an eye there. Maybe I get a little something.
Yeah, really choppy right now. Just
out of Meta.
Yeah, it just popped up to the VWAP
Chop
rejected.
City.
Yeah.
It's still holding the right range. It's probably going to work overall. It's just being so obnoxious. I just can't do anything with it right now. So we'll just have to let this one go.
Oh, Google is kind of moving. It's up at yesterday's high. So
I went ahead and tried some. I'm going to try a little long on some micro futures on crude. All right, I'm just kind of hanging now. I'm watching Tesla here. Jared, did you get short on that? This looks like, yeah, Jared's short from the open price. Good, man.
just shorted a little Google here just to see if we can get a pullback from this prior area of resistance. There we go. Drop, drop, drop.
The tape's really flowing on Tesla. We're definitely, it's a lot of people who bought the 140 area. You get this nice gap. Once it loses the open price, people just start profit taking because they know they can just buy back in. You know what I mean? So they just start profit taking. It just can create an amazing gap fills.
Okay, just covering some Google on that little pullback. And this little pullback, I'm not more concerned that it might retest that 159.
On Tesla here, we got floor 4, which is where the NYSE traders will want to play, is down at 157. And then you have the breakout, the buying range kind of starts again at 158. So I'd look for, well, as I'm speaking, I was going to say I'd look for a response here to see if a bidder steps in to grab the price at this level. Sure enough, insta squeeze.
Yeah. That was, that came down, tested that pre-market low. Also, that's pretty, that was S3 basically.
Right at pre-market low. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. I'm just going to cover some more Google. 158.60. Perfect area to short that. Right at, rejected right at pre-market high and yesterday's high.
Dang, I should have been paying attention to BA.
Oh wow, BA's rolling over.
Look at BA.
Yeah, I can see that.
177.84 is my monthly S4, which is right here. 177.84 or whatever. Hold on, what's not configuring?
Gonna cover some more. Google 140, 158.44.
Look at that. Dang it.
Well, it was nice.
Oh well. So much good stuff today. Just nothing I'm trading, that's all.
All right, I'm gonna get out here. Just 158.30, 158.33 on Google. This probably could bounce here.
I got nothing right now. I'm just chilling. Meta was my only trade that I really was dialed in on that fit kind of my strategy for the open. Right now, nothing else is where I want it to be as far as trades. I actually still kind of like my original idea on Meta, but its lack of desire to do something is just kind of taking it out for me. So I'm just going to kind of hang. If AMD gives me a really nice pullback to R4 here, I could actually potentially short it.
Yeah, maybe, eh?
Bullish relationship gapped. Right back to R4. Pretty solid bid too, but it's buying a lot. It's kind of a cool spot.
Yeah, AMD. Yeah, that would have been a good short right at the VWAP R4. It's just been it's pretty choppy.
I like it actually. With the market kind of pushing, it kind of just got stuck here. Bit of a gap to the downside. Good orders to the downside.
Mm-hmm. Boeing right at R4. Could bounce here.
It's going to need more volume to break out. It's only at like 78% RVOL on AMD.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. I threw a couple shares short at it.
It's right down this.
I like the bid too. It's a solid bid to the downside. 154 has got a really big order.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of and the 153.89. I've got a level mark there.
It's been really hard to get a convicted move. We're in more of a buying range on most tickers. So keep that in mind if you're trying to short. You're going to have a lot more squeezes and pullbacks against you. So you kind of going short when you're in a buying range requires a little bit more, for lack of word, fortitude, because the price is going to constantly test against you over and over until it finally lets loose and drops. But since you have so many buyers and sellers are disincentivized, let's just say, to sell down here, right? There's not profit in it anymore. If they bought low, it's almost back to their low, right? So there's just no one really willing to sell anymore. So it can just stop going down for that reason only. So you kind of have to give it a minute and let the sellers the shorter term sellers come in and interact. Stinking meta.
And what did Google do? Yeah, Google bounced right back. Yeah, what a nice bounce back. I should have flipped my position when it came back to PDC. That would have been a good trade in the other direction. Let's see what Google does here. Yeah, pretty choppy open, I have to say.
For sure.
Yeah. Google doesn't give you as good a read on where levels are. Yeah, it's going to come back down again. Anyway. AMD. Again, just kind of choppy. It looks like the Qs have kind of broken out.
Tesla still hasn't provided a setup for me, unfortunately. It's a little all over the place for me. I mean, everything's a little all over the place for me right now. I don't really have much I'm liking. AMD's in a good spot.
A good spot for what?
Yeah, good point. I mean, I would only want to short it here because if I was going to long it, it would either need to be lower or higher. So that's, so if it got above 157 where it rejected before, set up there, holding 156.50, bought off of that and broke up, I'm down. I could see that being a trending long. But I would actually only want to buy it if it got higher. Until then, I prefer to be a short. Right now I'm flat on it. I cut it. So I'm just not into this.
Came bouncing back there after hit that one sort of 155 R3 level.
Everything's being boring. That's okay.
Yeah. Google rejected again at yesterday's high.
Oh.
Qs really seem
BA
like they
is in
want
an
to go
interesting
higher.
spot now. Back to R4.
Yep.
I might try a long on BA here if things hold and the bid kind of comes in. We got a lot of orders from 177 to 178, and we pulled back to the top of where it broke out. We filled that gap. So if it supports here and we find a buyer, could do something fun. Still selling a lot on it right now, but
yeah, Tesla's kind of creeping up here.
it's the right spot though.
Yeah, volume's really dropping on BA.
I feel like we kind of, it feels like we're exhausting our sellers a bit.
Yeah.
We're now back to the top of all the previous ranges. So it's just like, if someone like, why sell at this point?
AMD. It's just a dog's breakfast. I think I'm going to have to ban it again. Let's see here. Tesla. What's Tesla doing? Because it kind of looks like it. I'm going long Tesla here. It just looks like it wants to rock and roll.
Why not?
Yeah.
Get some.
So 164. There's a bid there. Look at AMD going right back to there. The Qs. Qs are breaking out. Your buddy Meta is sold off again.
I mean, at least I made a little money. It's going to be like a few days ago. This happened to me. I didn't start making money till like 11 o'clock. It was kind of a long day, and I was trading with Andrew. So you know how that is. That dude makes money so fast. He's just like, I'm really looking for something very specific here, and I'm at $50,000. You're just like, wait, I thought you were looking for something. How are we at $50,000 already? Oh my god.
Okay, so I'm kind of long into a level here, so into a resistance level. So we'll see what happens on this little pullback on Tesla. There's some big asks at 164 and 165.
Oh, that is a good spot. I'm kind of hanging on to. I'm trying out this. See if I can make some money on. I bought into crude earlier, so I'm still holding that position. So maybe that one will end up working for me.
Oh, BA is continuing to sink, continuing to lose altitude.
Pun intended. You're welcome. Aaron.
Wow.
You know. There goes AMD.
Yeah, wow, what a drop. Excuse me. On AMD, right back up to pre-market or market day high, and then it just fell out of bed. Okay. Come on, Tesla. Get to 164.
Oh, nice, Nicholas. Yeah, I know crude what time is that at? Is that at 10 or 10:30?
It's at 9:30. No, it's at 10, you're right. 10 o'clock.
That's what I'm hoping we get some positive futures, some crude news.
Is it 10 or 10:30? Maybe it's 10:30.
I think it's 10:30 actually.
Yeah, I think
Get some crude news.
Yeah, if you get the crude and then you get the natural gas on Thursday.
A little crude, little natty gas.
Little natty gas, yeah. Come on, Tesla. Here we go.
We got guys in the South down here that mine natty gas while drinking natty light. That's bougie beer down here in the South.
Bougie.
How's your first beer, Tanner? Dang, you fancy. My first beer was a Milwaukee's Best. Fishing with my dad. I was like 8 years old, I think. The Beast.
All right, I'm just
PBR,
gonna
that's my
take,
jam right there.
just gonna take a little off here on Tesla. Just I'm just a little bit concerned we may not be able
Doggone
to
it.
get the volume to break out here. Wow.
I knew Meta was going to do that, Brian.
Yeah, look at BA. God dang, eh?
How dare you, Meta?
NVIDIA has gone red on the day. Oh, look at that. Now we're back down to my entry on Tesla. Yeah, tough morning. Ooh, Q's really.
I feel triggered.
Q's and SPY, it kind of took a bit of a dive there.
I know, and I went out at break even on AMD, which was a good thing. I would have taken a loss if I hadn't, but it just went a little too far out.
Okay, I'm out of Tesla too, because that's not working out. I think it's just rolling over with the markets here.
It's all good. I had an incredible week already. So in only 2 days, I've had a really nice week so far. So I'm perfectly okay with just hanging out and slow playing some of these positions. I just don't, I don't want to get all impatient and lose a bunch of money.
No, exactly.
I'm still actually wouldn't mind being a buy on the ES, but it would need to be lower. I would need it to get down to 5,100 because that's where we bought to yesterday, and we held it. So if we come back and test 5,100, I'd be fine with getting long on the ES. But I didn't really like the idea of a short on ES here because it's not really the right. I mean, it worked, but it's not really the right for the bullish relationship. It wasn't really the right spot. So I just got to be patient. And I'm actually going to go ahead and take off for a little bit because I have an appointment I got to run to at 10.
Okay,
but good hanging out with you this morning.
Yeah,
See,
for sure.
Maybe one of these momentum traders in here can play some of this ebb and flow a little bit better than me. Has got some good stuff to share. So, but I'll see you all back on in an hour.
Okay, sounds good, Thor. Thanks.
Right, bye.
Okay, so a little bit of a bounce here. We're just stuck in our trading range here.
Hey, Brian.
Good morning. Hey, good morning, Paris.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm just had one good trade on Google, but kind of a flat trade on Tesla. Yeah, stuff's bouncing a bit. Yeah, NVIDIA just bounced off PDC. What's going on with you?
I traded NVIDIA, and I'm both in NVIDIA and Tesla right now. And today is the day where I feel very humbled. I had one of my best days.
Today?
Yeah. And
Good.
and yeah, it is
Awesome.
So
'Cause
let me share my screen, guys.
Certainly hasn't been. I don't think it's been an easy morning to trade. Wow.
Yeah.
Visa's really coming off here. Glad I got out of my Visa. My Visa calls.
I'm currently long Tesla as well. I'm currently short NVIDIA. I went tier 3 size, risking 840. Got a very, very strong move on the downside. Tesla, I loaded up again, went long 160, loaded up at 162 area. and now I'm looking for the break of high. So 2 trades, but very, very profitable ones. So I'm very thankful, to be honest.
Mm,
So uh,
nice.
nice. So Tesla is coming, beauty, is coming back up. Sold some, but what a day it turned out to be. 2 trades and I'm done. It's gonna break the highs, guys.
Yeah, I'm long again. Just using options.
Oh man, what a move!
Boom. Got sold some.
I love you.
I'm using I'm using the 165 calls right now. That was a nice move. Just sold some 308.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Paris. Everybody wants to hear it.
I love you. It's gonna break.
There you go. I didn't want to attempt to copy you because you
Yeah,
just
it is.
it's just the original is so much better.
Yeah, I have finally revealed, like I have finally understood the gender of Tesla. It's a her. She's very loyal. So she
Okay.
is very loyal to me.
Yeah, very
She,
good. Still sitting with some calls here. I'm gonna maybe sell some more at 335. Oh
boom,
wow.
boom,
Boom.
guys.
Yeah, nice. Oh, wow. I wish I had more calls here.
Yeah, I'm adding a little more on Nvidia as well. I'm adding. Oh, Tesla.
Wow, boom. Wow. Okay,
Man,
I'm
what?
gonna selling
Why?
some more. Selling another call 380 380.
Yeah,
Oof.
I had a multi five-figure
Wow,
day,
it's
guys.
gonna go through 4. These calls are gonna go through 4.
Yeah.
Here they are, 405. Oh man, okay, here we go. I kind of had a feeling it was going to break out, a Tesla. Beauty. Okay, I'm out. I'm out of my position. Don't have any.
So
Got nothing
Nvidia
on.
working out really nice. I added more on Nvidia for the break of low, but I don't have that big of a size on Nvidia for now. But Tesla is doing really good.
Yeah, Nvidia. I don't know what's the Q's pulled back right at the VWAP now. SPY below the VWAP. Okay, well, that Tesla trade was now made my day.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm short on Nvidia, guys. Currently, a Tesla is popping up. Very nice. Man, I told you guys, this is a
Wow.
long. This is a long. This is
Yeah.
on a big. Like my investments are. Long-term investments are back in business. Yeah, today the amount I used to make in 3 to 4 months, I made it in 1 hour today.
Wow. Very doing an Andrew trade.
Yeah. Oh man, nice. 166.
I think you cut your Nvidia position, right?
No, I haven't yet. My average is pretty good, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'll add more around to 834, 835. But let's see. Yeah, thanks, Arif. Yeah, people who joined the webinar, thank you for joining. People who couldn't, feel free to review the recording. Yesterday's webinar. My average is 833 on NVIDIA. It's coming to my average. Yeah, I don't want to hold it. Oh, Tesla, man.
Yeah,
Tesla
Tesla
doesn't
is on
stop
fire.
going.
Yeah, it's not stopping.
Oh, man. When Tesla doesn't show up, it goes to 170.
Crazy.
Man, the volume on Tesla is just amazing, guys. Tape is okay. I think I'm putting a break-even stop loss in Nvidia. My average is 833 right here. So if it sells off from here, sells off. I don't know where will this go. It goes to, man. It's popping in 50 cents. Tesla.
168. Here we go. Yeah, there's orders at 169, 168. We're getting there now. Let's tighten it up a bit. Yeah, there's a big order at 170. It's hardly giving any opportunity to get into this thing.
Yeah, no pullbacks, no pullbacks.
Yeah.
I was thinking that it would give us a pullback around 164 area. Okay, I got stopped out at break even on Nvidia. So I'm closed on the Nvidia position. Tesla turns out now it could give us a pullback, maybe holds the 165. It's too extended right now, so it gives us a pullback. But I think the value area is clear. Nice, Ghost. Ghost, you literally went in exactly at the area that I went in. Beautiful. Beautiful. And you added at the same area that I added. So beautiful, man. So V range, nobody knows until that happens. But you still have to manage your risk. You still have to manage your position. My thesis is it pulls back around these 831, 832 area and then sell off. And I have to still manage my risk. So the process is much more bigger than how the stocks trade. My process says that if it breaks out, ideally anything above 830, 831 should have been rejected. If it's holding the 830, 831, my stop loss should be above that, and my break even was also around 833. So I want to respect on my process. It can go up, it can go down, but usually this is a VWAP. A lot of people try to short it again for a pullback, but I couldn't hold it just because I added more here. Ideally, a good ad would have been here at this point, 833. Now looking back, I'm thinking that that wasn't a good ad to my position. I think 833 would be a good ad for a drop again. Yeah, I will add on Tesla if it pulls back around 165, 165.5. If it pulls back and if I start seeing some buyers, I would absolutely add.
Get some profit taking now.
Yeah, so which is good.
Yeah.
So a lot of people fear about these pullbacks and this selling. It's not thinking that this is a short. People can scalp it, but understanding the context is important. The context is obviously it moved a kind of exponential move. Now these are people who are trying to hold. I think 164, 165 area would be a good area. I want to see some buyers stepping in. If I see the buyers stepping in, I'm going to add. Currently, the sellers are in control. We'll see how the buyers are in there, and that's where the tape helps you identify that. Yeah. The whole reason I did not take long at the open was that I did not see buyers. I saw sellers, and that's why in the pre-market I actually shorted the stock and for a little flush below 159, and immediately it held that area that I was watching, and then immediately I got out. No reason for me to be a part of it. But and then later in the day, I was thinking of shorting the 163 at this point, but I was already in a trade of Nvidia. So Nvidia, I was managing the exact same trade, tier one, tier two, tier three, very nice area. Every single time it pulls back, I added more heavy, 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 because this area 840 was the area that I was targeting today. And I said, okay, this cannot lift above 840 today. If it lifts, I if I see a seller, I'm gonna keep adding heavy size until I'm proven guilty. And what is my guilty is anything above 841. So that was my thesis behind it, and that's the reason I did not short. I wouldn't have long Tesla. I would have shorted Tesla at 163, but just because I was actively managing Nvidia, I couldn't take the short. But then this is where the volume at 945, the 160 held very nicely. Uh, and that's what I added more. Sorry, I went long, and then 160 was like, wow, man, what a tape, what a volume. Like literally volume was at this point 1 million shares being traded, and that 160 did not drop. Like that was like grab you by the face moment. And that's where I went heavy, very heavy here. And this is where I'm adding more. Whatever the profits I'm taking, I'm loading back on my position for another leg higher. And this is how you recycle your shares and trade around the core, and keeping your PNL running.
Nest, watching Tesla here, this 165 area, like you said, seems to be holding right now.
Yeah, 165 is holding, which is good, but I still don't see aggressive buyers yet. I think it's gonna flush below 165 too. The second I got out on Nvidia, it's now dropping. Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. This is a very good area to short. I mistakenly added badly, and I had to respect my stop out. But this is a good area to short again.
Yeah, rejected. Nvidia came right up to the VWAP and rejected it. The SPY and the Qs are kind of failing here. So
buyers are trying, but sellers are in control so far. Buyers are trying to buy back, but currently sellers in control. And see this, guys, this is a stock that is in play right now. See this SPY. SPY is literally doing like up, down, up, down. Q's, same thing. So Tesla is these are the stocks you want to participate. These are the stocks that would, they're independent of the market, what market is doing. Yeah, irrespective, Tesla is a big contributor in SPY, but things don't, when a particular stock is in play, you wanna be a part of it. So now it's flushing below 165. I was telling about that. It doesn't look strong yet. And
Mara's back at yesterday's high. Interesting. What's Bitcoin doing?
okay. I'm adding more on Tesla.
Bitcoin's dropping.
So this is my ad. I think it should bounce from here if the buyers are aggressive from here.
Hmm.
$164.90, $164.80 area is buying. Now it dropped. Yeah, now it's weak again. It's weak right now, guys. It's gonna drop further. Goes to 164. My average is at 162.87.
God. These yields on these interest rates keep going up.
Yeah, I'll be switching to IB, guys. With the since the TD is moving to Schwab.
I would say AMD is at a pretty, this 154 is a pretty significant area support for AMD. BA is bouncing back.
I'm adding more on Tesla. Let's see if it bounces from here. 165. Ah, the buyers are trying to step up, but the sellers are aggressive. Come on, buyers. You gotta win this. Nope.
Oh, there goes NVIDIA, your buddy.
That's bad. But I made my money on Nvidia, so I'm happy about that. Let's see if Tesla bids above 165. We're gonna have fun. But once if 65 is starting to sell now, so no conviction. Again, 165 sold, but it has to lift 165. Come on, lift 165. Lift, lift, lift. Again, 165 selling. Again, 165 selling. Yeah, 165 is selling, guys. It's not lifting. 65 wants to be a seller.
Yeah, there's definitely a seller there at 164.85, 164.90. They keep reloading there.
Yeah, they are. I think the psychology is they are trying to. Yeah, the sellers keep slamming, but the buyers are not willing to give up.
Yeah,
And in
that's
this
true.
case, the buyer should win. Left 165 buyers, you're gonna win. But sellers are in control so far, guys. The sellers are in control. Pop 165 lifted. Now the seller should not take over. If the sellers take over, then it would not be a good news. Sellers should not take over. Sellers, yeah, this is sellers are trying to take over. Okay, close above this thing. Very good. Let's see. Continue. Sellers don't take over. Don't go below 65. 165. Yeah. Yeah, no, the sellers are in control, guys. No, it's
Yeah.
165 is selling again. Yeah, it's gonna go to 164.
Hey guys, so just to answer a few questions, I don't think Paris is looking at the YouTube chat, so we'll get them all set up with that. What you're watching now is Brian and Paris trading live in our chat room. So the reason Paris is moving to Interactive Brokers, if you guys remember, Schwab, they purchased TD Ameritrade, right? So Thinkorswim is with TD Ameritrade. So a lot of us have a TD Ameritrade account. I have it for my long-term stuff, swing trades, and long-term investments. And I'm getting the message too now. So now Schwab is forcing me to open up a Schwab account. They're still going to have Thinkorswim, but it's going to be under the Schwab logo and under their financials, right? So they kept it going for a while, but now they're asking us to kind of make the switch over. When they make that switch, Schwab is not going to be ready to connect with DAS the way TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim previously had it, right? So he's going to lose the ability to trade with DAS through now Schwab. So that's the reason why he's switching over. So and then once they figure it out and they get all set up, you can always go back to using that. Thanks, Joseph. Appreciate your support, man. Thanks. And if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a ton. We're gonna be going live like this for like the first hour of the market open. So we'll wrap it up in another 6 minutes or so. You saw Brian earlier this morning with Thor, and now you're watching Paris with Brian. And Paris had an incredible day here. So let me see if there's any more questions I can answer here before we hop off. We have what trading platform are we using? Jizu, that is Dash Trader Pro. So the platform you see now on the screen, that is Dash Trader Pro. No, Paris can't hear me because so the way the setup is right now, he cannot hear me. So I could hear them. So they cannot hear me here because I'm running the production system. The way it works, if I put it on, then it'll create a huge echo. All right, and but your question for Paris is, let's see what we have here. Oh yeah, he can. I can get him to answer that. Hold on a second. How can you continue to watch
Sellers are still in control.
live? So we trade live all day. So what's going to happen is if you want to see how we trade live all day, head over to bearbulltraders.com. You can use this code. Use PreMarket24. PreMarket24. Here it is. and you can get 7 days for $24, right? So pre-market 24, do an intro membership. It's 7 days for $24, so you can get access to the chat room, right?
I use time and
Um,
sales. So time and sales is something
so
that
that will, you can
what
see
is
what the
called
environment's like.
overnight.
After this comes, I think Thor comes back at
Then
11. Then we have John, who trades the heavily the high of day.
be a future. You
We
have
have
here
Brian
the
come back
buyers
towards
who
the
are trading
close. I mean, all the moderators start
lower and lower
trading
levels
live. Usually this will be Andrew's spot with Brian, but Andrew's traveling, climbing in Australia, I believe.
but
So
I'm watching the
so he'll
trends
be
closely.
once he's back, you'll see him trading live as well. Any more questions? What else we have here? What format is similar to Ameritrade? I'm not sure what the question stands as far as format. So Dash Trader Pro is the platform, and then that platform can connect to different brokers. So he's going to continue to trade with Dash Trader Pro, but the platform is the broker is going to be Interactive Brokers, which we highly recommend. They're really good as well. Let me see if Alexander. Let me see if I can get Paris to talk about his course. I'll text him now. So we'll go back to listen in, and I'll talk a little bit. I'll ask him to talk about his course
Yeah.
for YouTube in a second
I am
here.
betting on the fact that the buyers would step up and the sellers would be trapped.
Tesla, I don't know. It's just, it didn't really, the 9 and the 20 are so close on, if you're looking for a 920 trade on Tesla, you like to see a nice strong move up in the first half hour or so. And then the final, that pullback, so that the 9 and the 20 are kind of spread out a bit.
Did you see this, guys? 164.50. The bids is slammed. Now the sellers have easily stepped down. People who know how to read the tape, they would have seen it. Easy. What is the question? Paras, could you explain so what can we learn with your tape course? So end of the day, so Alexander, what you can go through on the tape course is details out the step by step what are the concepts of reading time and sales. These colors that are flowing in front of you, the red, the greens, the whites, the all the orange and the blues, every single color has a reason behind it, and not all greens means a buy and not all greens means a red. All reds means a sell. So you always want to understand, and those concepts is what the course talks about. It talks about the time and sales concepts, applying them in all the different patterns or trades or setups that you trade, because irrespective of what market you're trading in, tape will always be there and you can get a lot of information out of it. And details about all the different concepts on level 2, whether it's stacking, whether it's identifying the algos, HFTs, identifying which institutions are trading what with size, and obviously identifying the liquidity, where the major liquidity exists on the thing. So it specifically dedicated to tape reading. It has nothing else, but it's a 15-16 hour course that details you about the tape reading. And now it's 165 is gonna lift. Let's see if 165 seller lifts. If the 165 seller lifts, we're gonna be in a much good position. So 165 continues to be a seller, and I still don't have. It's gonna take some time for it to hold. But yeah, check out the tradingterminal.com and go under the academy to get yourself exposed to the tape. But if you're very new to trading, and if you do not understand the basic price action, or like identifying the support and resistance areas or reading the candlesticks, I don't recommend getting into tape reading immediately. Get into tape reading once you have the basics clarified, and then get into tape reading, because that's where it would add a lot of value into your trading. since it's an advanced topic and it's not just you want to start with. Yeah, Shruti. So you that's true, and that's why we recommend DAS, and we recommend, because tape reading is all about how to identify the buyers and sellers and in a real time. So 165 never lifted. So it's very much necessary to have different colors, because you want to identify if it's a limit buy order or a limit sell order, or if how the buyers and sellers are patiently holding or aggressively selling, and those are usually the colors contribute to that information. So Salim, time and sales configuration. Send me an email. I'll share the details with you. Send me an email at paras@bearable.com.
Yeah, it's really narrowed into a very thin trading range, Tesla.
All right, friends. So there we have it. We're gonna be finishing up our live trading here. We'll do it again tomorrow. I'll send the link out shortly for you guys. So look out for the channel. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet to Bearable Traders. We're gonna do it live here. We start 8:30 with the pre-market show, and then we'll go right into the live trading for at least an hour, 30 minutes to an hour for the market open. So thank you guys for joining us. If you have questions on Paris's course, you can email him, paris@bearabletraders.com. So send him an email. I'll put the link right here in the chat. He'll answer any questions you have for his course. And you can also look at his course at tradingterminal.com. So if you go to tradingterminal.com, I'll show you guys now. Right over here. Where is it? Let me go here. So tradingterminal.com. And if you come here, you see Academy right on there. You click on that, and this is going to give you all the courses that are available. So Paris course is going to be in here as well. So guys, have an amazing trading day. The rest of the day, enjoy, and we'll see you guys tomorrow again at 8:30. Have a great one.